So the Growth Path app now has a new tile called Shopify, and I'll gradually migrate more and more of the Shopify functionality into this tile. At the moment, this new functionality regarding the download of Shopify payment transactions and conversion to Xero CSV file is in this tile. So we proceed. So far, it's manual. Step 1, step 2, and then step 3, which is download. Step 1 normally will be quite fast, but I've just wiped out all the data, so it's going to load everything from scratch. I'll pause the video and come back. Okay, it's almost finished the updating of transactions. So the next step is this one, prepare Xero statements. It's pretty fast. This goes through all the transactions which have not yet been allocated to a statement. In this case, it's all of them, and batches them. As you can see, the batch number is so high that all these transactions are going into one statement. And the next step is to download that one statement. So it gives me a CSV file to save. If there were multiple statements, it would have given me a zip file with the multiple statements attached. There's another option here to download the ones which have not yet been downloaded. So there's only one statement in the system and I just downloaded it. So when I execute that, I'll get a message, there's nothing to be downloaded. Okay, so now we've got the CSV file saved in a directory. You can open it and have a look at it if you like, but I'm going to go to the demo company and I am going to make a brand new bank account. Let's call it Shopify. That's meant to say test. Account number, since I'm in Australia, it asks me to provide this. Right, so now we've got a brand new bank account. Let's go and import our statement. Browse to find the CSV. Use the most recent one. Import. So once we do or start the import for the first time, we have to map columns on the CSV file to fields that Xero recognizes. So straight away, it's worked out the transaction date, the transaction amount, the pay, and the description, and that's all okay. But I want to pick up the reference as well. We just put that to reference. And the Shopify payout ID, we could put it in the check number. Xero is not really going to use it, but it could be a convenient reference. And the Shopify unique transaction ID, Xero doesn't need, and we don't need to import that. So I'll click save. Saving means it begins the import. Now it won't ask again for the mapping of the columns to the Xero bank statement feed. So this is a big CSV, nearly 10,000 lines, but in my testing, it swallows it quite well. Okay, so that's finished. And now we have the bank statement waiting to be reconciled. So if this was your DIA, these payments should match to the payment coming across from DIA because this reference should be exactly the same. Then we've got these fees. So for these fees, you would create a bank rule based on the description. Set to say Shopify. Choose some kind of merchant fee. There isn't a merchant fee account in the demo file, so I'll use bank fees. The reference will be set from the reference. That's okay. We limit the rule to run on this particular account. Now this is picking up the fee on invoice payment. There'll be there are other descriptions. I think the there's a fee on refunds as well, and it has a slightly different description, so you might need to make a few rules to pick them all up. But once that's saved, all of these can be ticked off with the rule. That's it really.